Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. I thought I'd let you play along with me today as we try to figure out what's going on with this Penn Battle III 4000. This one was sent in by George. He says that it's sticking. We got a couple of things going on here. I just removed the spool, but the reel is totally bottomed out here, but it doesn't turn. In addition to that, we have a bump guard that's broken, and I thought, well, let's see if we can figure out what the problem is with the reel and, well, how to address the issues. So we're going to start by taking off the exterior pieces and parts, and we're just going to call this one learning for now. I don't expect to get the reel repaired today because I think we're going to need some parts that I don't have. We're going to take that off. That's fractured. There's a broken piece in the case here. That's going to need to be replaced. And while we're taking off these pieces and parts, which includes the handle here, we're going to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. If you like the art of service and fishing reel repair, if you like to understand how reels are made, like to see some examples of them, learn about their manufacturer, how they're used, and more importantly, how to keep them fishing for a long time to come, then I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. If you do subscribe to the channel, please use that notification bell. That'll let you know when I'm posting videos. I try to do that frequently. And, well, you'll see which ones you like. Work on all kinds of reels. This one's a current spinning reel. Tomorrow maybe a vintage bait caster. Just never know. It's kind of fun. The varieties here and the learning experiences here as well. So I encourage you to subscribe. And keep watching. All right, well, we're going to take the side plate off here. That's where it's all going to start. We're going to get a view inside about what the potential cause is. So it's in the oscillation system. There's no question about that. It's bottomed out. The oscillation system includes an oscillation gear, a crosswind block, and the axle shaft. And the three all work in harmony to make that spool go up and down. And when it stops going up and down, something in that system is normally broken. So we're going to try and see if we can identify that. And then, of course, we're going to have to see if we can't get the replacement pieces and parts. Well, there was an issue with that broken piece on the bump plate. That's the bearing for the main gear. That's fine. It's the shim washers that go on the main gear. That's fine. Right now, we're all the way at the bottom of the case here, so I can see right away what the issue is. There's a stud right here that belongs inside the crosswind block. So I don't know how that jumped, and I don't know if that crosswind block is broken and will cause the issue that we're talking about. So let's see if we can't get this axle shaft out. It's kind of wedged in there pretty good. That's a problem that you're going to have when these things bottom out. We're going to try a little screwdriver for some leverage here. There we go. And I think the other issue we're going to have, well, no, it seems to be okay. All right, let's take a look at this crosswind block then. Yeah, the crosswind block is shattered. So what would cause it to shatter? The most common cause of that is that the piece breaks from fatigue. That doesn't sound like something that you would want to find in a high quality reel like this, but every now and then a piece will fatigue and will cause that to shatter. Well, now of course we want to understand, is there anything else going on in this reel that either caused that or was affected by that piece breaking off? Because George was using this reel. He says every now and then it sticks. Well, every now and then it sticks, but we've got that piece in here somewhere, or we should have that piece in here somewhere. So the next thing to do is try to do our Sherlock Holmes here and find the piece that broke off. Now, I don't know the history of the reel. It's quite possible that somebody had come into this reel, but looking at the dirt and debris, that doesn't seem to be like anybody was in there servicing it or cleaning it up or looking. And so what we want to do then is we want to check for damage, and then hopefully we're going to find that little piece somewhere. The damage you would expect, you want to look on the teeth of the main gear. Look at it this way, see if there's anything that's jarred. Now that's driving the rotor around, so I wouldn't expect to see damage there. This is driving the oscillation gear, the teeth on the back side. So you want to make sure that, well, that's not damaged either. It seems to be okay. Next up, we want to pull the oscillation gear. That's the first place that I would think that a piece that breaks off of the crosswind block would damage. Let's see, I think we may have a screw holding this one in. We do. We have a small screw here. We have a big screw with a small slot is what we have. Well, if you've got a reel like this, maybe it's sitting on your shelf now because you've got a problem with it, you haven't been able to identify it. If you want to leave that problem in question in the comment section, I'll see if I can't help you, just like I'm trying to help George here. All right, well, we wiped off the oscillation gear. Now we want to do the same thing. We want to inspect all of the teeth, make sure that they didn't chip or crack or break as a result. Same thing on the front. And if I neglected to say on the main gear, on this one you also want to check the profile of the teeth. So you want to see if there's any warping going on. This one seems to be okay. It's clouded with a little bit of grease, but you want to do the same thing here. So you look at it top ways, and then you look at it this way. And make sure they're all the same size teeth. Kind of looks like it is. When I take the pieces and parts off, they're going into a parts tray. Well, where in the world did that piece go? So there it is, right there. A little piece of a piece. There's the rest of the piece right there. So I think George probably would get away lucky on this one, because those two pieces could have really done a lot of damage inside the reel. Well, how do we go about repairing it? Well, one of the things we're going to do is make sure that the reel is cleaned up. We'll do this a little bit later, but as an example, we'll take some penetrating oil, get the old greases out of there. Now remember, we saw two big pieces just come off that side. We don't know if there's any little pieces that are less prominent. There, we know that's a big chunk, and we know this one's a big chunk over here, but there might be another small piece or part of that in there. So we're going to want to do a thorough cleaning of this. What I likely will do with this is put this into a ultrasonic cleaner, let it vibrate everything, and see if that isn't the solution. But make sure that all of the old greases, make sure all of the dirt and debris from the old greases are cleaned out of there before you even consider replacing the old parts. Because if you got to replace the parts with new, well, same thing might happen. We're not sure what caused that break to begin with. All right, spin the top. This top seems to be spinning fine. We'll service that when we get the new pieces and parts in. But for right now, generally speaking, you could get away with replacing just the crosswind block. But quite honestly, the oscillation gear is just not that much more expensive. I'm seeing a little bit of kind of rough edges on the stud here, and that would be because of the way it got jammed into the hitting that crosswind block enough times. I mean, this is, I'm not sure what the metal is, but it's not completely round anymore, so I think we'll want to replace that as part of the deal. And again, if you had seen damage on the back end of the main gear, then you'd certainly want to replace the main gear as well. But I think we'll do fine with that. So what went wrong with the gear? What went wrong with the reel? It was in the oscillation system. There were broken pieces and parts associated with that crosswind block. These are two of those right there, two of the pieces. And in order to repair this reel, that needs to be replaced. And as I recommended, if you're going to replace that, don't take any chances with that failed oscillation gear. For the other $4 or $5, go get that part. And of course, we have that fractured bump guard below, missing that stud here, so we might as well order that at the same time. Well, I hope you found this useful. That's kind of what this channel is about. It's trying to teach you how to keep your reels serviced, running carefree, and when a problem develops like this, it's about trying to identify the problem, help you to identify the problem, kind of give you some tips and techniques on diagnosis and, well, then how to repair. Well, I'm just looking here. Got a little shiny spot here. I hope that that doesn't affect the case itself. All right. Well, we're going to just leave it at that. I want to take a minute to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, and all the people dedicated to public safety. I want to thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to keep your reels serviced. Do that on an annual basis. And of course, I want to encourage you to keep watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.